Sup. Hello everyone, welcome once again to another commentary video. This time, after a long time, since March, since I have not recorded any video for my channel. Now I'm doing it, so I'm gonna be a bit rusty, but today in front of us we have a banger in the second round of the Smacky Cup, the folk tournament of Advanced Wars via web on site. I'm featuring two players. I know one of them and the other one is completely new to me. I know Shadower, who is a very strong player. He has beaten players such as Starflash. He is fairly new. I believe he is Chinese. And yeah, that's all about I have to say about him. He's very strong, guys. I don't know exactly his current rank, but I believe he's, if not top 2, very close. You only have to look at his rating right now, almost 1600. That's a lot of, like, the top 1 it's around almost 1700, so he's top 5 players currently on Global League, most likely. And Uxna, who is not as highly rated, but he has two things. I think they have two things going for them. One is that they are going to be playing Shasha against Hook, which is a favorable match, and the other one is that I don't know, they have a cooler name. I think it was only one. Anyways, guys, this is a very interesting map. Normally a lot of people on this map could pick Storm. Raizo, a friend of mine, and a player that has been featured many times on the channel, has pick Storm on this map, and a lot of people, but the Storm has a lot of advantages. As you can see, if you want to go to the middle, well, actually any part of the map, you will have to go through a forest. But if you want to go to the middle from your 2 base side, you will have to go through 2 forests, not 1, 2 forests, and that means that on early basis you will have 2 extra movement. So that means that if you are a Storm, your 2 range 2 turn range it will be increased by 2 spaces, and that means that if, for example, this is your strong side, if you go 2 spaces farther, that's also your same as a strong side. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but normally in Advanced Wars via web you have an imbalance, mostly in 3 bases maps, where is 1 base against 2 bases and 2 bases against 1 base, because they are mirror, and that will make the Storm reinforcements get much more range. Basically, it's very underestimated power for new players, I believe, but it's super strong. But Hook is a very nice pick against Storm. I don't know in this map, I believe even being in as a Hook against Storm you will lose. But Hook, you want to kill his units, right? And Storm will struggle with that because Storm has 20 less firepower on Advanced Wars via web, and that will help a lot Hook. So Shad will probably pick Hook thinking about facing Storm, and Uxna pick Shasha thinking about facing Hook. The problem is that Shasha would have struggled a lot against a Storm player, because denying the power of Storm, I don't think it's that big of a deal if you have no day-to-day weapons to deal with such an immense defense for Storm. I think I have commented all. As I said, it has been a long time since I made a commentary video. I'm a bit rusty, so stick with me, guys, and let's go through this amazing play. Yes, I have not covered the first round of the Smacky Cup. Deejus has done that on his channel. He has covered his own match, and he has done an amazing job. I think he faced Ulster. I will leave a link on the description, but I think I didn't need to comment on this map. I have already a video on my channel about that map, much more before it was featured into the tournament. But anyways, guys, let's just jump into the match. Alright, so on this map, I didn't mention on the introduction, but there is also 2 airports and 2 com towers, as you can see, for each player. The airports are all the way on the back, on the corner, and the com towers are the middle ones, not as much, but the ones on the corner are quite a bit more contested, I could say, and we will see how the players play around that that idea of the com towers on the corner, because also Uxuna has built a day 3 recon, and also Uxuna has already decided an option on the capture phase. You can either well, actually he has already done a first decision. He has gone for this property, rushing it, and I think that's the right choice, because this city is just on the beginning of this chain here, and also these 2, not especially these 2, but the evolution of these 2 are going to be contested properties, which is these ones here. I don't know if you want to go for these ones as blue, but I think at least this city right here, you want to go for this. And if you want to go for this city, I believe that you have to go early for it, or a recon by hook can stop it. But as you can see, you also can decide for going this city immediately, excuse me, for the immediate income, but you also have this option of cities, which is another chain, and also into the middle. So Uxuna opted to rush the chain contested properties into the middle, which I agree with, because not only it will be on the long run better, but also if it matters for a tank earlier than you could gotten with rushing the contested properties, you are Sasha, so your threshold for that is a bit higher. You can afford doing things. But anyways, the day 3 recon is going to one of the corners, the strong side corner of Uxna. I believe it is. I didn't go through any replay or look too much into the meta of this map. I'm aware of the storm being quite strong, but I think that's it. But anyways, this recon, I love early recons. If I'm not wielding an early recon, it has to be a very good reason for that. Hook has built a day 5 tank, and Sasha has done that as well, but the difference is that Sasha has already a day 3 recon, and Sasha can afford that because it's Sasha, has extra funds, so that's already gonna put Sasha into an advantage on the day-to-day. Even though Hook is on paper stronger than Sasha. But you have to think about the timings of the units. Which is strange for me is that this tank is going into the weak side. I mean, no, it's not strange. On early game, going one tank into your weak side, if you are worried about recon, early recon harass, is completely justified, and even more as Hawk against a non-defense CO such as Sasha or another Hawk, because with that 10% firepower you will be very likely to one-shot that recon once it gets chips damage. If that recon is on very light terrain, which is roads or plains, if it's on a 3 or 2 star terrain, it will be harder. For example, here. But this recon, it's only getting vision, it's not denying any property, so it's gonna be completely fine for the Hawk player. It's not denying a lot, but it's gathering intel. But let's see how Shadower deals with the recon, because if I were Shadower, I would like to move my tank into this city, but since this infantry has nothing else to do, because it will take 2 turns to get into this com tower or this city, I could move it into the forest to get vision of the properties, and then I will move the tank into the com tower or into the city. So yeah, I want to see Shadower moving the infantry first and then spotting the recon and then attacking the recon, and that recon is gonna be forced to retreat. So let's see what Shadower does. First, gather the information with your infantry, which is... Please do it. Okay, perfect. I love it. I love it. You can tell that Shadower is a great player just because of this detail. In a standard, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna say almost never. But the order in which you move your units in Fog is key, guys. Because basically, you cannot take actions if you don't have vision. And if a unit is not gonna do anything, or you think it's gonna do anything, you want it to move to provide vision if it is able to, and then you move with the rest of your units, even though you have already a really good task for that unit, that tank going into the com tower or the city, because you are gonna lose opportunities and chances. And now this tank gonna have a clean shot at the recon, which is 4 HP. That recon is gonna still be able to even though interrupt caps without dying. But that recon for sure has to retreat if it doesn't want to die to another tank. So that's already a victory, a small victory, regional victory for Shadower, because the harass is shut down. It's shut down, I believe is with an 8. Anyways, as you can see, we are seeing a tank change into the weak side of Uxna, which I think it's fair if you then shift into the middle, but you don't want to do that. I mean, both players are very looking into the control of this city here, sitting with the tank or trying to, but this recon denied that. I wonder if Uxna Shasha player is gonna continue the tank change. Okay, she has not continued, so I'm expecting her to retreat from this area. These 2 tanks are used in order to shut down any harass. And this recon right here is completely safe. Infantry has 2 vision and 3 movement, so as long as it's 6 spaces away from all infantry, the tank is not gonna have vision of the recon, so the recon is completely safe. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you just have to count 6 spaces and your recon will be completely safe. Anyways, let's see what the Shadower does. He has to start to think about capturing this com tower, but he has also to keep in mind, take a look on these properties. I don't think you want to to deny these properties, and this is your weak side. You have only one base providing units into this area. On the opposite side, Uxna is two bases sending units, so you are 1 against 2. So if you lose 1 unit per 1 unit, imagine you have 5 against 10, then you have 4 against 9, then 3 against 8, 2 against 7. Yeah, you are gonna lose no matter what. So yeah, you know what I mean, guys. I'm repeating all these things for newer players because they are very important to keep in mind. And we see a copter day 8. I really like early copters, and the problem with them is that you have to be very careful with an anti-air, but anti-airs in the early game cannot can be like what do you say, not a possibility, you know, because people likes to spam tank to counter the other tank, and it can work very well. The problem with this capture right here is that it's not covered by any unit, most importantly the tank, and you cannot you can count that because 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. So basically 1 2 3 4 5 6. So basically this tank right here can interrupt this. The problem is that you don't know if a tank was here 2 turns early, 1 turn earlier. So this tank could have been hiding on this forest, biting for you to interrupt this capture. So I don't expect Shadower to interrupt this capture, even though it's free. On hindsight, it's free, but during the match you don't know, and you don't want to risk one of your tanks just because of an interrupt. Preemptively building an anti-air by Sasha, very good, and moving the recon here. But even though this recon can die because of this infantry first wants to capture this com tower, and even if this infantry goes and gets vision of the recon is already covered by the tank. So right now I'm really liking Uxna play, but I don't like the recon one. The recon into the city was, I'm not gonna say a big mistake, but yeah, it was a big mistake. In my opinion, you could have done much better with the recon, but it was not terrible. Very important, guys. First attack with the tank and then with the infantry, and you will have, if you are able to track this tank and know that this tank later is the one on a city, that means this tank is at 90 something HP, and that will be making 2 hit KOs on cities much more easier. But here it doesn't matter because there is 2 com towers, and 2 com towers means 20 firepower for Sasha and 30 for Hog. So as long as you have 20 firepower, tank on tank on a city or infantry, it's gonna be always guaranteed, even if you load the lowest luck rolls. This again is common knowledge for most average global league players, but I believe for any player that is new to the competitive wouldn't know this. Okay, this is quite an aggressive capture, and the thing is just on the verge of this base right here. So if you count the spaces, it's not 2 turns, it's 3 turns away from this base and 4 or more from this base. So it might look very in favor of blue player, and it still is in favor of the Uxna player, but I don't think it's completely in favor. If this was a Sturm, this property would be a Sturm property no matter what, because you can get within yeah, you can, right? You would be here No, well, you could interrupt at least. As a storm, you will have one extra movement. But anyways, guys, we see an artillery and an anti-air. You want to wield an anti-air. There is 2 airports, and even though Shasha is not wielding any copters right now, you have to. You don't want to leave any possibility. And this tank right now is free, but the problem is that there is a copter reinforcement. So you have to keep in mind where are you attacking from, because you have 2 options. You can attack from here or from here. And what if you attack from here? What are you gaining? I think nothing, right? So you would rather attack from here. I mean, if it was all the way around, most players would commit this mistake, but yeah, this is a no-brainer. But the problem is that there is a copter approaching, and I don't know where is this anti-air going. I mean, to be fair, this anti-air is gonna go into the middle and maybe shift into the area where is needed, but when I play anti-airs, I prefer to commit with my anti-airs into the area where I have things to cover with it, not to double with it, you know, going into the middle with my anti-air and then reacting where is the copter. I prefer to wield my anti-air and follow my tanks, which are the target of the copter. Because you know that the copter is gonna attack either your own copters or your tanks. So you can be preemptive, and being preemptive in FOC is very important. Anyways, I think I'm being very slow. I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit the commentary. And as you can see, there was an interrupt here, first with the tank, as always, very important. Still, we are missing one com tower for Uxna, and Uxna has to be very careful because there is a copter approaching, and that copter is not gonna be letting this com tower getting captured, and the anti-air and the copter from Uxna is still turns away from helping to capturing this com tower. The thing is that Uxna will be able to interrupt this and at the same time wall for the com tower, so I think Uxna is going to be able to get it done. And I think it's a very big deal to get 2 com towers as Sasha, because you will no longer depend on having your power activated in order to get the 2 hit KOs. So you can play, instead of activating your power and then using the extra stats, you fight, you gain charge, and then when you gain the max charge, then you activate your power. So you can you are using your power in order to deny Hook's power, not to get the extra defense, which might be the case in niche situations, but most generally you want to do it because of the denial. Because on paper you are basically much more stronger than Hook because of the extra fans. So you don't want to be much, how you call it, greedy with it. This anti-air probably went into this city and attacked this pipe. Whenever you attack a pipe, advanced words via web logs don't register, and that's why the move is not registered for the turn, but on the next turn is gonna be updated, so don't worry about it. And this tank taking a very nice engagement, and this tank is not covering this tank, so this is gonna be a very nice outcome for Uxna. But we are starting to see a lot of indirects coming into play. 2 indirects for Uxna and 1 indirect of Shadower approaching to the middle. Shadower is opting to wall into the weak side. He's walling with his units while supporting this capture right here. So I really like this play, because he's being aggressive and greedy here, but he is not overcommitting on the other part of the map. Also, he's walling with his weakened unit, which, yes, if it dies you're gonna lose value as hook, but if this is gonna die, Sasha is gonna pay a higher price. So that's a win-win situation for you. If you don't get killed, you basically have another unit to heal as hook. If you get attack, then you will kill a tank of Sasha against a 4 tank of yours. Anyways, as I said, this anti-air attack this pipe, as you can see, and Sasha starts to capture these properties. Maybe it's the players who are choosing to play like this, but maybe I was mistaken, and this is actually the strong side of each player. I'm not completely sure, but I'm still of the idea that maybe this is not as weak as it looks, but this is still, on my opinion, the weak side of Uxna. By weak side I mean the part of the map where it's harder for your bases to reinforce. Not that you are weak like in ethereal way. It's just basically the part of the map where it takes you the most to reinforce to. But nothing too much happening, both players are just moving around. This pipe has been broken by this artillery, which has not moved. And this property gets interrupted, and this interrupt is gonna be, how you call it, supported by all these forces. You have to keep in mind that pipes and pipe seams are always visible on Fog of War. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know if in the cards games it's like that, but it is on Advanced Wars via web, and you can look at the HP of the enemy's pipe seams as well as there can look into yours. So you can look at the pipe seam and look how much HP it took of damage and do a couple of calculations to determine which unit of your enemy attack it. So you might, so Sasha right now basically knows that there is an artillery here, because if you know the CO of your enemy, you know how many com towers they have, which might be a bit harder to do on this map. You can determine which unit attack the pipe. Attacking a pipe is basically attacking a neo tank on 0 defense with without loud damage. But breaking this pipe, it seems like a very important thing, because it will drastically change the dynamic of the map, because as you can see now these two bases have a much more easier time. Now they don't have to go through these two forests or this forest here, they can go directly funnel into this area, and as well as this airport and this one. This one has no trouble, but if you want to do double copter, this copter will be able to go into this area much more easily. I mean, yeah, these two airports has the same distance to this area. But anyways, guys, I said I wanted to be fast and I'm talking about too much. Let me know if I should skip these things or not. This surprised me because Hawk now is quite aggressive with this capture, walling into this area, but still, as you can see, there is only infantry on vision for the enemy to attack, and as well as here. So even though he's been aggressive on both fronts, he's not exposing any of his vehicles. I mean, this tank here is quite exposed, but there is a lot of vehicles to protect that attack. But yeah, I think I don't know if Shadowr knows where is Uxna going hard exactly. I think he has an idea, but let's see what Uxna does. He interrupts the cap and attacks with the recon on the city. And Uxna now knows more about how that what Shadowr knows about Uxna. And it seems like Uxna is opting to go hard into this area, which I think it might be a mistake, because you know that Shadowr broke this pipe, and that means that he will have a much more easier time fighting around here because of the reinforcements. So at that point you can completely front switch into this area and make this break of the pipe useless. And yeah, you know that there is some forces here, so you might I don't know, I don't want to speculate too much. Okay, Shadowr is being very aggressive. This copter is not covering the tanks, it's covering the capture, and this copter is gonna be used out of range to cover this 9 HP tank. But to be honest, this tank attacking into this one, trying to cover it might be too much. But there must be a reason for Shadowr to not put this copter here than here, because this anti-air couldn't be able to attack it, neither this copter. So I wonder why is that. But anyways, as you can see, Shadowr is front switching with 2 tanks of his and putting this recon into the middle, providing a lot of vision. Look at that vision range. That is gonna help a lot with the map control for Shadowr. But let's see. Beautiful. And marker crash. Okay, I like it because, as you can see, Uxna didn't need the extra firepower or defense. Well, the defense will come back during the turn of Hawk. During his turn, it didn't need the extra firepower, so you would rather wait and then pop it at the end. Maybe Shasha needed for this role. Tank on recon is 80 base damage plus 20 firepower because of the com towers. It's 96 minus. I think it was needed to make this role very likely. Yeah, killing a recon is a big deal. But the problem is now this tank is completely exposed, and you did that just for the sake of killing one recon. So now you have to make sure to cover that tank if you don't want to lose it. Let's see. Yeah, you are covering it with this tank. And this artillery is gonna sit on the HQ. Okay. Which is completely fair, because if you don't do that, you are gonna get HQ cap. Okay, 2-hit KO the tank. And Shadowr. Okay. Okay, so Shadowr opted to play it defensively here and switch back into this front. But let's see, because right now Sasha has the income advantage, but not the property, because Hawk has 23 income, but Sasha has 24,000. That only means that Sasha has one less property, and that's not good for Sasha. Sasha wants to have a lot of income advantage against Hawk, because the more money you have, the more powerful your market crash will be, and also you will have more units and more powerful units to get power charge with. Wow, double capture. I mean, I think it's fair to try to do a double capture here if you see 1, 2, 3 tanks, 1 anti-air and 1 artillery, but that only means that there is at least half of Shadower army here, but most of your army is here. But now you have committed a medium tank here. I think you are let's see, because I think these captures might be a bit too aggressive, but we will see. Okay, Shadower is answering the push with his own push, but not overcommitting. I mean, he could not. Getting busy. This is why Hawk day to day, even though it might not look super strong, it's quite decent. Like against defensive COs, you could not do that, but against Sasha, that 10% firepower is what makes this possible, with the 2 comp towers, of course. But that's amazing to see, because now you get a hit on the artillery, and now that artillery has to retreat, and it's gonna take quite a few turns to be able to do something. And now the HQ cap starts come into play, and Sasha has to interrupt it. But if Sasha interrupts, there is an artillery completely prepared to attack any units interrupting. And yeah, there is a medium tank, but there is an artillery to attack the medium tank. There is, I like this a lot. Let's see, because Sasha is also in position to start a cap. The problem is that there is a lot of vehicles here, so I don't know. Sasha starts the caps on the HQ, starts attacking the forcers, and at the same time walling the infantry on the HQ. If Sasha is able to do these 2 things, she will win this turn. First of all, deny the wave, black wave from Shadower, which is gonna be able to do because of the marker crash. And the second thing, wall this properly enough in a way that you are not gonna be able to hit even once this infantry. The problem, I think, is that you have been attacked with a copter here, and now this copter is gonna be easily one shot by a copter with 30 firepower or with this anti-air. So I think you should have tried to wall with how you call it, a tank, but there is an artillery prepared to attack that tank and then another tank, so I think it was not possible to wall perfectly around this HQ capture. Marker crash at the end of the turn, so next turn you are gonna be able to do another marker crash, because on the next turn, well, Hack's turn, he's gonna do a lot of damage, but he's gonna gain a lot of charge, so you have to get ready another marker crash immediately, or you are gonna end up eating that black wave of Black Storm. So very nice usage of the power. Yeah, I think sitting with the medium tank into the HQ, even though there is an artillery in range, it's completely fine. This is gonna do like this has 50 defense, 40 because of the HQ, 10% because of the power. It's not gonna do as much damage. It's gonna probably do 3, and if you attack with 2 tanks, it's gonna probably do 1 each. So this is gonna completely sit comfortably in the HQ, at least for a couple of more turns. And there is reinforcements coming, and there is no reinforcement coming for the Hook part. So if Hook overcommits next turn, he's not gonna be winning this. And as Sasha, you know that there is a lot of things here, so you know that this is a fake push. You know that if your opponent is going hard on both sizes, one of the sizes is fake. One of the sizes is gonna crumble, because one of the sizes is not getting reinforcement, one of them is getting them. So, yeah. But I think this HQ cap is not gonna succeed. Let's see how Shadower interrupts it. One shot. Okay, and then use that. Yeah, completely shut down. And as you can see, Shadower opted to attack the tank instead of the medium tank. Why? Big units, big tanks especially in fog, are completely useless or vulnerable if they don't have the right support, and if you are able to isolate them, they are gonna be easy pickings basically. So you kill everything around the medium tank, and the medium tank is not gonna be able to do anything. Because look, now even though there is a medium tank sitting on the HQ, what is the medium tank gonna do? The medium tank is can do anything. Yeah, it can it can attack infantry, but look, it can only attack this tank, not this artillery, because the Shadower made a great job at the Vision denying Uxna, because the only way Uxna gets Vision is with this recon, but it's too far. With this infantry, which is not gonna be able to do much. Maybe you can get Vision of the anti-air and attack from here, and you know the artillery stayed here, so that might be a nice way of doing it. The problem, you know the anti-air is here because it attacked an infantry, so moving with the infantry and not attacking here might be the play. But then you move away from the HQ. Yeah, it might be careful. So first of all, moving with the recon and getting Vision, very important. Oh, the pipe thing was attacked by this artillery, so okay. Using the transport copter, marker crash after doing some engagements, so you have some charge for next turn, although it's gonna be hard to get a third in a row. Keep... the cap is gonna be close, because now this HQ has 5 HP, and not only that, but you have also the extra defense. So you're gonna... Okay guys, this is quite intense. The thing is that Hook has the chance of getting Black Wave, which is gonna give him 10% extra firepower, so 40 firepower, and do 1 HP of damage to all units, so the walls are gonna be weakened. So I think if you manage to get how you call it, the charge power, you can one shot with this medium tank, this tank, and then attack with a tank into this 9 HP infantry on the HQ, and that could be enough, but then you will have a very strong counter attack by Shasha. So I think it's pretty close, because this push right here of Hawk, of Shadower, has been shut down, but Shadower is now on trouble here. So let's see. Shadower is doing engagements with infantry, with artillery to get charge, and now pops the heat wave, very important. One shot with the copter, one shot with the medium tank, almost one shot with the artillery, and now, yeah, now with the tank into the 9 HP infantry. As I said, this HQ is now gonna sit at 1 HP, which is very, very, very close, but I don't think it was, I mean, it's close, but it's not won, you know, guys. As much as you can say, yes, almost won, but you didn't. You have now to retreat, because now if you keep trying to cap this HQ, you are not gonna be able to do so, in my opinion. You need to somehow reorganize your forces and try to do another push. The good thing, paradoxically, whenever Hook pops the power against you when you are Sasha, is that you don't need to worry about popping the marker crash, force-hitting it if you don't want to. So Sasha can, how you call it, save a lot of charge to get a lot of marker crash in a row. But yeah, Sasha has to completely retreat here. Very smart. Don't overcommit whenever you cannot do. But you can do a lot of damage here, because Shadower must retreat here. So both players on both sizes are going the same dynamic, but Hook now has a Neo tank, and remember, Hook has the income advantage. That's, I didn't mention it because to be honest, I don't look, you might see it super big on your screen, guys, but on my screen is very little and I don't look too much at it. But it's very rare to have Hook having the income advantage against Sasha. Sasha has 10% effectively more funds, so that means that Hook has 4 more properties than Sasha. So if Hook is starting to take up against Sasha, Sasha is gonna lose all his advantage of being richer CO. Sasha is pushing into this area, which is fair. The problem is that Shadower is preparing a counter push, and in my opinion you should completely retreat on this area with your units. You don't even want to stay here. You want to, in my opinion, front switch with these tanks. These tanks are doing nothing here. You want to move them into the middle, so in 2 turns they are going to be able to help these units here. And even though Hook tries to capture properties here, it's gonna take a while, because you know that infantry is slow and there were not many infantries. So as long as your opponent has no infantry, you don't need to defend, because what is your opponent gonna do? Without infantry, the most damage that your opponent can do is basically base block it, base block an airport or a base. But this is out of the question of this map, on this map, of course. Let's see, because now Shadower has many options to do. He can try to counter push this. He can try to push into this area, get control of the middle, try to stall. He has the income advantage as Hook against Sasha, so he's not in the pressure side. Sasha is on the pressure side. Sasha has to pop Marker Crash. She must. I mean, not must, like, but if you want to keep the 9 Hook powers, you should. But we are starting to get into a point where Sasha powers are getting a lot expensive, much more expensive. And if you look at the stats, it's the 4 CO power. So the very next Marker Crash is gonna make the 6 Marker Crash cost double, because each time you pop the power is 20% more expensive. So every 5 times you multiply by 2 the cost, the original cost. So now effectively it's like Sasha having a 4-star power against 5 and something. These 2 medium tanks, well, medium tank and neo tank, are away from the vision, but I think Sasha knows about them. This was a mistake, I think. Why you reveal your neo tank before attacking with your medium tank? You could have attacked with... I think that's a mistake by Shadower. You don't want to reveal information. Maybe you want to do psychological damage, revealing your neo tank, saying, hey, I have a neo tank now. You want to resign or something? But I don't think that's the... I think it was simply a mistake. But let's see, because this medium tank at 8 HP is facing a neo tank and a medium tank. The artillery is covering it, but it's completely exposed, and there is some units in position to try and save it, but there is a space here from where it's gonna be completely exposed, and it has not been covered. And remember these units that I said that should have been here helping this push? They are coming now, which is gonna be 2 turns late, and your opponent is gonna win on this push anyways if you are not helping it. So you rather retreat completely on this area and at least ensure you are winning here, because now you are not winning here. You cannot win everywhere. I mean, you can, but you cannot win against how you call it, a competent player everywhere. If there is a first time player, of course you can do a lot of things, guys, but let's be real. Okay, this neo tank is sitting so comfortably on this city. Like, if you attack this neo tank, it's gonna give a crap of ton of charge to Hawk. Yes, you're gonna be able to deny that with some more Marker Crash, but you are hitting the diminishing returns point. It's getting super hard to do that. And look, this front got completely crashed, and you could have retreated. Yes, you are gonna lose anyways, but you at least can save your units to help this front to not lose. So I think this was a very crucial mistake by Uxna. and Sadaware is now pressuring Uxna a lot, and he just got barely in range of the Black Wave. I don't know if you wanted to pop it. I mean, why not? Because you made a very nice push, so you are gonna get the extra defense, you are gonna get heal on some weakened units, and you are gonna do some damage, which is gonna reduce the damage you are gonna get. So I think I could have pop it, because also this turn looks like a resign turn. Yeah, I didn't know that Sasaya was about to resign on this turn, but I could have figured it out, because whenever you are this, I mean, at the end of your turn you are at the worst of at your turn, you know. Is you, whenever you start playing your turn, you only get better. But anyways, guys, this replay commentary almost gets into the 1 hour, so I'm happy that it didn't take that much. Let me know, guys, what you think of my replay commentary skills. Let me know if they have gotten any rustier than before. I tried my best. Let me know, Shadowware, any thoughts if you are around here or still here. And yeah, guys, let me know if you want to see the round 3 of this tournament, which I'm sure covering, unless no one wants. I don't know, some of you want at least, because the 3rd round is gonna be on, I don't know which map. I think it's, I made a video covering all the maps on the tournament, but it's gonna be a very interesting one. I might cover maybe Raisho, maybe, I don't know, maybe a lower level rated match. I will see. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. It's a pleasure to be back doing the commentary videos, and see ya, guys. Bye bye.